Evelyn to Philip, V-mail dated October 13th, 1944. Dearest Phil, I started this yesterday, but here it is the 14th, and I'm just getting around to it. There has been no mail in the meantime, and I'm rather disgusted with the mail situation. I did have a nice letter from Dot, so now I owe her 2 letters, which I hope to get around to writing tomorrow. Last night I kept my appointment with Dr. Freed and received my glasses. I wore them all last night and all morning at work and have almost become accustomed to them. The only reason I wore them last night was to get used to them and because I decided to do a bit of knitting on Adele's pink sweater. The conclusion of most everyone is that I look more intelligent with glasses on. Can you beat that? They are very weak glasses, but they are a little help, and that is the most important thing. This afternoon, immediately after work, I went shopping with my dad, and he bought a suit and top coat. He had a large hit, and I made him buy 2 very expensive items. My mother doesn't know the exact prices. $60 for the suit and $50 for the top coat. I don't have to tell you how nice both are. We bought them at Diamond & Company at 8th and South, who sell 3G's clothes. The suit is a lovely blue color, and the top coat could best be described as a very dark beigey brown. Gosh, but he looks swell with them on. Harry quit the Navy Yard as he discovered the work he was supposed to do was too dangerous. Instead, he spent the day at Al's place and has hopes of getting a station very much like Al's. He better do something soon, for it will soon be a month he is unemployed. I also went back to see the coat and legging set I had thought of getting for Adele. They got something else in. A fuchsia-colored coat and leggings with a red velvet collar and trimming. Fuchsia is a soft off-red color that is very attractive. The coat and leggings would be $20.95, and somehow it is rather steep for me at the present. She didn't have Adele's size in this particular outfit, but promised to get it for me. I still have to get Adele a stroller and give her the scarlet fever injections, all of which will cost a lot of money. And when I finish with these few items, I'm going to go to town on myself. I want to finish with her first and start off buying myself things when the slate is clean. The last letter I had from you was dated October 1st, and here it is the 14th. There ought to be several letters in the mail from me on Monday. I stopped in to see Anne this afternoon, and she tells me that Tony was sent back to France from Belgium. Anne also told me that she had a dream that you were discharged and sent home. That could only be a dream, was my reply. I see I only have room left to send along the love that is yours, that of your Ev. Philip to Evelyn, 13 October 1944. Dearest darling, last night, after a very busy day, I went to see a guy named Joe. Contrary to my expectations, I wasn't very much impressed with it. It was, however, a picture that provoked much thought, for me at least. Putting myself in Spencer Tracy's shoes, I found that I couldn't possibly have been nearly as noble under like conditions. Whether the fault lies with my character or with the character portrayed by S. Tracy, I am not prepared to say. At any rate, I found his emotions and subsequent actions most abhorrent. That goes for the character portrayed by I. Dunn, too. It's really too involved a subject to be discussed here, but if you saw the picture, you may know what I'm talking about. The picture, moreover, was the direct cause of my not writing to you last night. It left me inexpressibly depressed. So much so that had I written what was in my mind, it would have proved far from being an entertaining letter. Today found me busier than ever. I didn't even come close to getting all my work done, although I did accomplish a lot. The weather was perfect, with a bright autumn sun casting just enough heat to offset this chilly wind. Late in the afternoon, though, the sky darkened suddenly and heavy rain clouds gathered. Right now, the pelting rain is dimming against the metal semicircle that encloses the orderly room, and the wind is blowing gustily. I am writing page 2 in the orderly room because I am CQ tonight. My bunk is already made up, and because I am both tired and cold, it looks most inviting. First, though, I intend to say a few words in answer to your 3 V-mails, which arrived this afternoon. They are dated 4, 5, 6 October, and all single space. It was good of you, Chippy, to grant me my wish in this connection. I also received letters from Eddie, Mike Nirenberg, and another midget bulletin from Dottie. Eddie didn't say how much longer he expects to be at 4174, but wants me to visit him again. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get away for about 10 days yet, and I'm just about broke to boot. But if I can see my way clear, I will certainly make the trip again. God knows it's little enough to do for him on my part. Mike writes a very nice, friendly letter, and I can't help but feel badly that I just can't seem to find the time to answer him. It may be a few days before I'll find the opportunity, sweet, so I'd appreciate it if you'd give him a call to tender my fondest regards and to acquaint him with the fact that I did receive his letter. I feel a heel, too, that I have been unable to answer Dot's last letter. I hope she doesn't think too unkindly of me for it. Your V-mail of the 4th informed me that Dot decided to go to snuff after all. I'm truly glad for both their sakes that she found it possible to do so. Also, from the same letter, I learned of your visit to the eye doctor. What is he, optician or optometrist? I can only, page 3, say, it's about time. Don't you worry your dear little head about whether I'll like your glasses or not, honey. On you, they're bound to look good. Besides, the important thing is that you are finally getting glasses which you have needed for a long time. Remember how I used to coax you to let me take you to an optometrist? I didn't know that Mom is also having trouble with her eyes, but it's a good idea to check up nevertheless. You mentioned some pills that have vastly improved your appetite. I suppose a letter I have not as yet received will give me all the details. In your letter of the 5th, you start off by reminding me that it marked the 14th month of our separation. I use the quotes because I don't like to think of it as such, baby. In reality, I don't feel that we shall ever be separated anyway but physically. Then you say, God, but 14 months is a long time. You should have qualified that statement, honey, because if 14 months is a long time, then the many years we will be together will be infinitely longer, no? Sorry to learn that Harry is having trouble locating another job, but somehow it doesn't seem possible that there aren't any jobs to be had, things being as they are. If he has any ideas about moving to Poughkeepsie, that's his business. Moreover, while I agree with you, your unspoken thought that he might be a little more considerate of the rest of us, I'd hate to have him think that he'd be doing, page 4, us a favor by finding work in Philadelphia and continuing to help us maintain 4906. I feel as you do, Chippy, that regardless of which course he chooses to pursue, you and Mom will manage okay. I know I can count on you, darling, to keep me posted as to future developments in the matter. Your suggestion in your letter of the 6th that I write to Jack N. is nothing if it is not unnecessary. Truly, baby, I've been itching to write to him ever since I received his last letter. Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? But just as truly, I haven't been able to do so, and it's caused me no end of concern. I suspect that you find it hard to imagine why it should be so, and really I'd be at a loss to explain why I can't find enough time to dash off a few lines. But the simple truth is that I just don't know how to dash off a letter. I notice that most of the guys write 2 or 3 letters while I'm writing 1. Normally it takes me at least 2 hours to write a letter to almost anyone. For example, I started this about 7 p.m. It's now 9:30. I've been interrupted at least half a dozen times. So you see what I'm up against, Chippy. I just built a fire in the small stove, and I'm huddled near it trying to keep warm. The weather is miserable, and I'm hoping my slight cold doesn't get any worse. I too, darling, wish I could see and hear our daughter talking on the phone to Nan Mom. I'll bet she's every bit as cute. Page 5, as I picture her. The prospect of seeing her, holding her, taking her bye-bye, etc., as you say you promised her daddy would do someday, is so excruciatingly sweet and so intensely desired that it is almost painful for Daddy to contemplate it. Oh, my sweet darlings, how I long to be once again with you, to hold you both so very close to my heart that loves you above all else. God bless and keep you safe and well for your adoring husband and dad, Phil.